Okay, so this is a quick video demonstration of how I'm connecting I connect a MIDI with an iPad Air attached to it into an instance of Mainstage, which is also running this Maschine micro, and out from the back of the iConnect MIDI we have a MIDI direct into a boomerang looper, and also this Keith McMillen 12-step is also connected, which is actually what's controlling the iPad, the sounds on the iPad. So why have I done this then? Well, I'm primarily a guitarist, but I do want to work with synth loops, sequencers, arpeggiators and that sort of thing to give extra movement to a more ambient sort of acoustic style, I guess you'd say. So let's go into how we've constructed this basic rig in Mainstage then. So this is Mainstage 3, running on just a basic 2009-2010 MacBook. It's not even the MacBook Pro, which probably explains why I'm using the iPad here as well, because I don't want this to fall over. So okay, so what I've got on my screen there, so let's have a look at the channels first off. So here we have the channels. So I don't know if you can see here, I'll probably zoom in the video in a little while, but I have a number of channels. The first one is connected to the iPad and is bringing an audio into the iPad, and also has the Keith McMillen 12-step attached to it. Okay, so elsewhere on YouTube you'll be able to find a video on how you can use an aggregate device with a Mac in order to create the sound, or create a input-output which works well with both Logic and Mainstage. After a bit of messing around, we've managed to discover which ones work best in terms of the inputs and outputs for this particular setup. So that's the one that's controlling the iPad. So basically, I'll come back to the 12-step here. Forgive my fluffy slippers. Pressing the 12-step, any key on the 12-step, and you can actually hear. Now I've got an instance of. So it's gone all blurry. Sorry about that. Just turn that off. There's an instance of Alchemy running on the iPad there. Okay, and that's what's coming through. So essentially the MIDI is coming through from the 12-step into the Mac via the iConnect MIDI 2 into the iPad. The audio is then fed straight back into Mainstage here, and that's what that first channel is doing. So looking at the second channel then, okay, the second channel essentially is just a MIDI channel that I've set up, and the idea behind this is taking MIDI clock information, and that is being routed out again through the iConnect MIDI 2 and into the looper. So as you can see there, there's the boomerang with the sidecar attached. The input to there is running into the in of the sidecar. The sidecar is then controlling or feeding information backwards and forwards between the looper itself. So that's all going on, that's all good. And you might be able to notice there, possibly, you can see that the sync light is flashing, and that indicates that we've got clock coming into it. Okay, so lastly we just have an instance of Maschine. Okay, and if I just click up on that, we have this instance of Maschine up there and up and running, and if I tap the pads you can see it's all going. Okay, so that's all coming in through there. Okay, so if I I'll just get rid of him, go back to my perform page, and I've just basically, very basically set up a tap tempo, so I can just instantly control tap tempo. There's my 3 levels for each of the tracks. The Maschine the iPad audio coming in, and the main volume. Okay, that little light there doesn't actually do anything other than just to tell me the cycle's running. Essentially, I've got for instance, if I hit play now, you can hear there's a basic beat coming out that's running out of Maschine there. Just stick Maschine back into step mode, and you can see that's all running off through there. And just hitting the space bars starts and stops that. Okay, if I just slow that down a bit, okay, hit spacebar again, and as you can see, okay, and if I come back down to the looper, hopefully you might be able to see it, the sync button is working simultaneously with it. So in actual fact then, what I've got then is a looper that's MIDI synced to my computer via Maschine, so I've got instant beats if I want them, and also I've an iPad running obviously Alchemy, I've got Animoog on there as well, and a step sequencer. Just bear with me, sorry, a second. Okay, so what's interesting about this then is that once you have the MIDI sync coming from the iConnect MIDI 2 into the iPad, you can have time synced or beat synced, a sequencer coming through from there, all linked up with the Maschine and into my looper as well. So, and because I'm a complete noob to all this, I find that very impressive indeed. So I'm sure people out there on YouTube land will tell me just how much of a noob I am, but I find that pretty cool. So okay, well, I hope that helped. If you have any questions about how any of that is set up, please don't hesitate to drop me a comment in the box, the magic box below, and I'll do my best to answer and see if I can help you out in any way I can, or if you have any suggestions to how this can be improved. Hopefully the next video will be a demonstration of this all up and running and working, for you to have a look at. Okay, thanks for clicking on.